separately. But then the common element has been identified as key and transversal competencies, but we could identify also that a competence to manage your own lifelong career could be an independent competence as such. It means that it's a competence you can identify what you, at the moment, what competencies you have, if there are changes, what are needed, and how to identify further learning goals and where to get this, where to improve my current skills to promote my employability skills. So in a way, this is the current strong focus. And we have agreed within our network that a sort of common definition that career management skills can refer to a whole range of competencies which provide structured ways for individuals and groups to gather, analyze, synthesize, and organize self-educational and occupational information, and as well as the skills to make and implement decisions and transitions. So in a way, this is a skill that is crucial for citizens in the current society. And in addition to information and knowledge what we have about the occupations and labor market trends, this is the process components that I identify what are the implications of different choices and how do I evaluate my current activities. And I think if the different activities and players from different organizations are promoting this one, this helps both the individuals and the companies as well. And where this can be provided, in education, training, employment, community and private, and there's a need to develop multi-administrative cooperation and coordination between education and world of work, both in the design of the services, but also in the actual service delivery. And this is a job that nobody can do alone at the moment. There's no need for monopoly for any organizations. Instead, we have to look what is the synergy between different level of expertise among the providers as well. And this has some implications for countries in the design of the training, from supplier-driven education to opportunities for citizens. And I have a slogan here that curriculum is a tool rather than a rule. So in a way, how to use the existing opportunities to improve my skills. This means implications of the teacher training. We should have to focus on the outcome-based approach. What is the outcome of learning, and how the competencies to support individual learning path instead of just delivering information through different media. And the training for career practitioners, this means that the practitioners need competencies both for service delivery and also on the service design. And an additional component comes here that we have to train also educational leaders and managers to work in networks, not only in my own school or in their own schools. So we need a new competence that is leadership for networks. So to conclude about this European discussion, we have a very strong consensus that lifelong guidance is a significant contributor to the development of human capital in countries. It's an engine for economic growth and social cohesion, in particular in helping governments to improve the labor supply, address skill shortages, and during the economic crisis also the emerging competence areas, and raise the level and quality of human capital. And that is why the well-functioning guidance services can be described as an indicator of well-functioning educational, and I could also include a labor market system. So it's worth of investing that from sort of a preventive approach, not the remedial way as it was in the 80s. And that's why the ministers of education in Europe, in the Council of Europe, have agreed. They have signed a resolution on better integration of lifelong guidance into national lifelong learning strategies 2 years ago during the French presidency, that being aware of these changes, they invite the member states and the Commission encourage the lifelong acquisition of career management skills that I emphasized earlier, facilitate access by all citizens to guidance services in different settings through different media, develop the quality assurance, and also encourage coordination and cooperation among the stakeholders nationally, regionally, and locally. And Berlin, we heard here, is a good example of this regional development. And use the opportunities which are provided under the lifelong learning program and the European structural funds in accordance with the member state priorities. And this is, I highlight, the goal is not to harmonize, but to use the European cooperation to have common reference points where we can share experience when we are developing our own national systems. And just to briefly mention that guidance is included in the forthcoming European Union strategies. The main one is the EU 2020, and it's strongly highlighting the development of competencies of individuals and regions. And within the education and training 2020, it's included in promoting the mobility, and also in the activity New Skills for New Jobs, which is a joint initiative from the education and employment sector, and how to develop skills in a lifelong learning perspective, and especially for adults, not only education. And all the priorities in the strategies imply the active role of citizens through acquisition of career management skills. And that's why the role, and I say locus of guidance, should be more widely recognized. And I think the first speaker described the strategy in Berlin. It's a good example of this recognition. And the tool, what we are having to promote this, in your folder you have a brief flyer about the European Lifelong Guidance Policy Network, which was established 3 years ago. And it's a member state-driven network that is looking for this type of national solutions to meet national challenges through European cooperation. And we do have all the European Union member states involved in it, and also Turkey, Iceland, and Norway. And what we are doing some policy analysis how these 4 priorities have been included in national strategies or national practice. And we will have our first report available by the end of this September, in 3 months. And this will be the basis for our new work program that we will deepen the attention in the 4 themes, and we take into account the sectoral development in schools, vet higher education, adult education, employment, and social inclusion, and looking at this interface in more details, both national and European Union levels, and look for new tools to promote this national development. And you have more information about the ELGPN website, and this flyer provides some information. So I'm not going into details to have some time for Finland as well. And then something about Finland. You will get these slides. Here's a URL to a link which has some more details by the Finnish Center for International Mobility. And also there's a book in German language. It's titled Studien zum Bildungswesen und Schulsystem in Finland. And there's an article about guidance, Lernberatung im finnisches Schulwesen with me and my colleague, and it's about 5-page document, and this book is available it's in Flensburg University, and it's about the recent development in Finnish education system during the last 10 years, and so it's an overview of the current system. So I'm referring to this document as well. But first, something about Finnish educational system. At the moment, the main aim or value is that the goal is to provide equal opportunities for education, irrespective of age, domicile, sex, economic situation, or mother tongue. And instruction is free of charge. So almost 100% of our schools are publicly funded and public. And we do have some centralized steering of the system, but the implementation is local. So it's the municipalities have a very crucial role how they meet these national guidelines, and they are requested to evaluate themselves